December 11th, 2025, BUDDHADHAMMA, Chapter 7.9. This is Gautama's Buddha's word on sotapanna, or stream enterers, one entering the path of realization of the Dhamma. Here are some passages from the Tipitaka concerning sotapannas. Point A. Epithets and Descriptions. This is a conversation between Gautama Buddha and Sariputra. Sariputra, this is said, the stream, what now? Sariputra is the stream. Sariputra replied, the noble eightfold path, venerable sir, is the stream. That is right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Gautama Buddha replied, good, Sariputra. That is, said, a stream enterer, what now, Sariputra, is the stream enterer? One who is endowed with the Eight Noble Path, venerable sir, is called the stream enterer. This venerable one of such is name and clan. Good, Sariputra. This noble disciple is called a person who is accomplished in views. Diṭṭhi-sampanna, accomplished in vision. Dassana-sampanna, who has arrived at the true Dhamma. Who sees the true Dhamma, who possesses a trainee's knowledge, a trainee's true knowledge, who has entered the stream of the Dhamma, a noble one with penetrative wisdom, one who stands squarely before the door to the deathless. A well-taught noble disciple, suta wa ariya savaka, who has encountered the noble ones and is skilled and disciplined in the Dhamma, Ariyatama, who has encountered true men, Sapurisa, and is skilled and disciplined in the Dhamma. They have seen, attained, realized, and penetrated the law of Dhamma, passed beyond doubt, did away with confusion and gained perfect confidence, and became independent of others in the teacher's dispensation. A variation of this passage is one who carries out Gautama Buddha's instruction, who responds to his advice, who has crossed beyond doubt in the teacher's dispensation. Alternatively, one who is firmly established and at ease in this Dhamma and discipline, who has crossed beyond doubt in that teacher's dispensation. A noble disciple who has arrived at fruit, realized the law of Dhamma, and understood the teaching. One who has uttered confidence in the tathagata, who sees the deathless, who realizes the deathless. No longer subject to perdition, bound for deliverance, headed for enlightenment. Point B, general criteria. Householder anadipitika, when 5 fearful retributions are stilled in a noble disciple, and he possesses the 4 factors of sotapanna, stream entry, he has clearly seen, thoroughly penetrated with wisdom, the noble method. If he wishes, he could, by himself, declare of himself, I am one finished with hell, finished with the animal realm, finished with the domain of the petas, the ghosts, finished with the plane of misery, the bad destinations, the place of ruin. I am a sotapanna, a stream enterer, no longer bound to perdition, sure in destiny, with enlightenment as my destination. First, stealing the 5 fearful retributions. On account of his behavior, one who destroys life encounters fearful retributions in the present and in the future and experiences mental pain and anguish. For one who abstains from destroying life this fearful retribution is stilled. One who steals encounters fearful retribution in the present and in the future. For one who abstains from taking what is not given, this fearful retribution is stilled. One who engages in sexual misconduct encounters fearful retribution in the present and in the future. For one who obtains the 5 from sexual misconduct, these fearful retribution is stilled here and in the future. One who speaks falsely encounters fearful retributions in the present and in the future. For one who abstains from false speech, this fearful retribution is stilled. One who indulges in wine, liquor, and intoxicants encounters fearful retribution in the present and in the future. For one who abstains from intoxicants, these fearful retribution is stilled. Second, possessing the 4 factors of a sotapanna. Here, the noble disciple possesses firm confidence with wisdom in the Gautama Buddha. Thus, the Blessed One is an Arihat, perfectly enlightened, accomplished in true knowledge and conduct, fortunate, knower of the world, unsurpassed, leaders of persons to be trained, teacher of devatas and humans, the awakened one, the Blessed One. He possesses firm confidence with wisdom in the Dhamma. Thus, the Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One, directly visible, timeless, inviting to come and see, to be brought within, to be experienced individually by the wise. He possesses firm confidence with wisdom in the saddhā. Thus, the community of the Blessed One's disciples in practicing well, practicing uprightly, practicing correctly, practicing properly. That is the 4 pairs of persons, the 8 types of individual. This community of the Blessed One's disciple is worthy of gifts, worthy of offerings, worthy of hospitality, worthy of respect, the unsurpassed field of merit for the world. He possesses the virtues dear to the noble ones, unbroken, untorn, unblemished, untainted, free, praised by the wise, unambiguous, and leading to concentration. Thirdly, to see and penetrate with wisdom the noble method. The noble disciples carefully analyzes diṭṭhi-sampanna, dependent origination of cause and effect. When this exists, that comes to be. With that arising of this, that arises. When this does not exist, that does not come to be. With the cessation of this, that ceases. That is, with ignorance as condition, volitional formations come to be. With volitional formations as condition, consciousness comes to be. Such is the origin of this whole mass of dukkha, suffering. But with the remainderless elimination of cessation of ignorance comes cessation of volitional formations. With the cessation of volitional formation comes the cessation of consciousness, such as the cessation of the whole mass of dukkha, suffering. With these 5 fearful retribution are stilled in a noble disciple, and he possesses the 4 factors of a sotapanna, a stream entry. He has clearly seen and truly penetrated with wisdom the noble method. If he wishes, he could by himself declare himself, I am a stream enterer, with enlightenment as my destination. Of these 3 criteria, the 4 factors of stream entries are direct attributes of stream enterers. The remaining 2 criteria are causes and effects of these 4 factors, respectively. Understanding the noble method, the law of dependent origination of cause and effect for these factors of stream entry, because when wisdom sees the laws of nature, faith is stable, based on reason and conduct, is in accord with moral principles. The first criterion is an effect, but when faith and conduct reach this stage, the fearful retribution cease. Therefore, in the Tipitaka, the Pali Canon generally refers solely to the 4 factors of stream entries as constant attribute of stream entries. Bhikkhus, a noble disciple who possesses 4 things, is a stream enterer, no longer bound to the lower world. A noble disciple possesses firm confidence with wisdom in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, and the Sangha, Sīla, the triple training. Or diṭṭhi-sampanna, he possesses virtue dear to the noble ones, leading to concentration. The four factors of stream entries are sometimes called Dhamma lens or a Dhamma mirror, Dhamma dasa, for stream enterers to use for the inspection and self-assessment. They are sometimes called the ocean of merit, ocean of good fortune, food for joy. At other times, they are referred to as supreme abidings for living happily in the present. Diṭṭhi-sampanna sukha vihara. Virtuous conduct is sometimes expanded into the three pure physical actions, the four pure verbal actions, together referred to as 7 essential qualities, saddhā. The factors of stream entries are in the case called the 4 desirable states, akhankayatana. In some passages, the factors of stream entries are divided into 10 right states, samatha, the eightfold path, plus right knowledge, samanana, right deliverance, samavimukti. An alternative presentation of the 4 factors of stream entries replaces sīla, moral conduct, and generosity. A noble disciple who possesses 4 things is a stream enterer. A noble disciple possesses firm confidence with wisdom in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. He dwells at home devoid of the stain of stinginess, freely generous, open-handed, delighted in relinquishment, one devoted to requests of others, and delighted in giving and sharing. Whatever there is in the family that is suitable for giving, all that is shared unreservedly among those who are virtuous and of good character. Of all the attributes of a stream enterers fall under the qualities of faith, moral conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom. For this reason, the Buddha frequently encountered and encouraged his disciples to develop these qualities and to use them as measuring stick for the progress of awakening beings. Likewise, he suggested the use to measure the progress of all disciples, including those yet enlightened. Bhikkhus, growing in 5 areas of growth. A male disciple grows with a noble growth, Aryavati. He acquires the essence, acquires the best of his bodily existence. What are the 5? He grows in faith, grows in conduct, grows in learning, and grows in generosity and wisdom. When he grows in faith, grows in conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom, the virtuous and knowledgeable male disciples acquires right here the essence for himself. Bhikkhus, growing in 5 areas of growth. A woman noble disciple grows with a noble growth. She acquires the essence, acquires the best of this bodily existence. What are the 5? She grows in faith, conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom. When she grows in faith, conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom, the virtuous and noble, knowledgeable woman disciples acquires right here the essence for herself. A bhikkhu possesses faith, conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom. He thinks, oh, that is my realizing for myself with direct knowledge. I may here and now enter upon and abide deliverance of mind, deliverance by wisdom that are taintless, and the destruction of the taints, asavas. By realizing for himself the direct knowledge, he and now enters upon and abides in deliverance of the mind, deliverance of wisdom. That is the taintless and the destruction of the taints. Even if a person have not mastered these 5 qualities, Recollecting someone else who has mastered them brings ease in the mind and acts an incentive for spiritual practice. A bhikkhuni hears thus. Bhikkhuni, named so and so, had died. The Blessed One has declared for her she has established and final knowledge of arihatship. She has either seen that sister for herself and heard it said to her. That sister's moral conduct was thus. Her qualities was thus. Her wisdom was thus. Her virtues was thus. Her deliverance was thus. Recollecting her faith, conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom, she directs her mind to such a state. In this way, a bhikkhuni has a happy abiding. Bhikkhus, I do not praise standing still, nor to mention declining in wholesome qualities. I praise only growth in kusala qualities, wholesome qualities, not standing still, not declining. And what is the decline of wholesome qualities, not standing still, not growth? Here, whenever qualities a monk possesses of faith, conduct, learning, generosity, and discerning wisdom, these qualities do not remain consistent and are not developed. This is I call decline of wholesome qualities, not the standstill, not the growth. What is the stances of wholesome qualities? Here, whenever qualities a monk possesses faith, wisdom, the qualities of neither decrease nor increase. What is the growth of wholesome qualities? Here, whatever qualities a monk possesses of faith, wisdom, and the qualities do not remain consistent, nor do they decline. There are several instances when Gautama Buddha presented variant definition for some of these 5 qualities. First, faith, saddhā. Apart from the firm confidence with wisdom in the 3 jewels, the ratanatai, are found in the 4 factors of a sotapanna, stream entry. Gautama Buddha often presented another definition. What is the accomplishment of saddhā, faith? Here a noble disciple has faith. He has faith in the enlightenment of the tathagata. Thus, the Blessed One is an arihat, the awakened one, the Blessed One. Second, sīla, moral conduct. On many occasions, Gautama Buddha defined moral conduct very simply as the 5 precepts. Here, noble disciples abstain from the destruction of life, from stealing, from sexual misconduct, from false speech, and from wines, liquors, and intoxicants, which are for the basis of apamato, negligence. From the surrounding material, it's fair to say that these 2 passages on saddhā and conduct, sīla, refer to noble disciples who have not yet reached the stage of awakening, as will become clear for additional quotations below. Thirdly, suta, learning. In addition to having encountered the noble disciple being skilled in the noble teaching, ariya-dhamma, as mentioned earlier, Gautama Buddha gave an alternative definition. What is the treasure of learning? Here a noble disciple is one of great knowledge, bears in mind, and retains what he has learned. In these teachings, beautiful in the beginning, beautiful in the middle, beautiful in the end, which in spirit and letter proclaim absolutely perfected, purified, holy life. He is erudited. He remembers them. He recites them. He is very versed in them and penetrates them with vision. Fourthly, cāga, generosity. There are normally no variant definitions from that present earlier. Fifthly, paññā, wisdom. Apart from understanding the dependent origination, Gautama Buddha presented definitions that can be applied to noble disciples who are not yet awakened. What is the treasure of wisdom? Here, a noble disciple is wise. He possesses wisdom that penetrates the rising of passion, which is noble and pierces defilement, leading to the complete destruction of dukkha. What is the accomplishment of wisdom? One who dwells with the heart overcome by covetousness and greed, by ill will, by sloth and torpor, by restlessness and worry, by doubt, does what he should, avoid to the falls in his duty. As the consequences, his fame and happiness diminishes. When a noble disciple does understand these qualities are defilements of the mind, he abandons them. When he has abandoned them, he is called a noble disciple of great wisdom, of vast wisdom, one who sees the path of prosperity, one endowed with wisdom. This is called the accomplishment of wisdom. One passage from the Tipitaka enumerates 6 qualities of a sotapanna. By possessing 6 qualities, the householder, Tapusa, and 20 other lay disciples have reached certainty about the Tathagata, has seen the deathless, has realized the deathless, and conducts his life accordingly. He possesses firm confidences with wisdom in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Possesses noble moral conduct, noble knowledge, and noble deliverance. Point C, abandon qualities and qualities of fruition. One who is perfect in view, diṭṭhi-sampanna, has abandoned 6 things. Abandon fixed personality, view, doubt, attachment to rules and vows. Lust that leads to ruin, anger that leads to ruin, and delusion that leads to ruin. It is impossible that one perfect in view could give rise to these 6 things. There are 6 impossibilities. Apapatana. It is impossible that one who has perfect view, samadhi, will live disrespectfully and without regard for the teacher, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. The training, it is impossible that he could cling to that which should not be clung to. It is impossible that he will give rise to the 8th birth. There is also 6 impossibilities. It is impossible that one who has samadhi, perfect view, will believe that any conditioned phenomenon is permanent. It's essentially pleasurable. It's a self. It is impossible that he will perform heinous crimes, anantariya kama, that he will believe purity is gained through auspicious rituals, that he will seek one truly worthy of offerings, dakshinaya, outside of this teaching. There are also these 6 impossibilities. It is impossible that one who is perfect in view, samadhi, will perform martyrside, will perform partricide, will kill an arihat, will with an evil intent draw the blood of the Tathagata, will split the Sangha, will follow another teacher. There are these 6 impossibilities. It is impossible that one who is perfect in view, samadhi, will believe that pleasure and pain are self-created, are created by an external agent, are both self-created and created by an external agent. That pleasure and pain arise randomly, not self-created, not randomly, not created by external agent, arise randomly, neither self-created nor created by an external agent. What is the cause for this non-belief? One perfect in view clearly sees both causes and produce effect. One who has abandoned 5 qualities is capable of realizing sotapanna, stream entry, selflessness in regard to one dwelling selfish in regard to one's family, selfishness in regard to one's wealth, selfishness in regard to one's social standing, selfishness in regard to the truth. Shortly before the first recitation after Gautama's Buddha's parinibbana, death, 499 arihants were selected to attend along with Venerable Ananda, who was still a stream enterer on the first stage of Sotapanna. He was invited because he had spent a long time learning the Dhamma Vinaya directly from Gautama Buddha, and because he was a stream enterer. It is not possible that Venerable Ananda could be biased due to likes, dislikes, delusion, or fear. Mahanama, the Sakyan, approached Gautama, the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to him, "Venerable Sir, this city of Karapavatu in Bharat is rich and prosperous, populous, crowded with congested roads. In the evening, when I have entered Kalapavatu, after visiting the Blessed One or the Bhikkhus, who are dear to the heart, I came across a bundle of elephants, horses, chariots, carts, and people. On that occasion, my mindfulness regarding the Buddha became muddy. My mindfulness regarding the Dhamma become muddy. My mindfulness regarding the Sangha becomes muddy." The thought then occurred to me, if at this moment I should die, what would be my destination? What should be my future state? Do not be afraid, Mahanama. Do not be afraid, Mahanama. Your death will not be a bad one. Your passing away will not be a bad one. When a person's mind has been refined over a long period of time by faith, conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom, his body, consisting of rupa, composed of the four elements, water, air, wind, fire, born from mother and father, built up from rice and pudding, requires scrubbing and massaging, subject to impermanence, anicca, to breaking up and dispersal, is devoured by crows, virtues, hawks, dogs, jackals, and various creatures. But his mind, refined over a long period of time by these five, faith, conduct, learning, generosity, and wisdom, that is elevated and reaches distinction. Do not be afraid, Mahanama. Do not be afraid, Mahanama. Your death will not be a bad one. Your passing away will not be a bad one. A noble disciple who possesses four things, inclines towards Nibbida, is devoted to Nibbida. There are 6 blessings in realizing the fruit of a Sotapanna, stream entry. One is firm in the good law of Dhamma. One is unable to fall back. One's suffering is limited. One is endowed with exceptional knowledge. One has clearly seen into the causes and the effects of causes. The person who is accomplished in view, free from the vast plane of misery, understands as it really is. This is dukkha. This is the origin of dukkha. This is the agent of dukkha. This is the path leading to the end of dukkha. Therefore, you should endeavor to understand as it really is. This is dukkha. This is the path leading to the end of dukkha. Bhikkhus, suppose that the great ocean will dry up and be destroyed except for 2 or 3 drops of water. What do you think? Which is more? The water in the great ocean that has dried up and been destroyed, or the 2 or 3 drops of water that remain? Venerable Sir, the water in the great ocean that has dried up, has been destroyed, is no more. The 2 or 3 drops of water that has remained are trifling. They do not amount to the 100 part, 1,000 part, or 100 part of water in the great ocean that has dried up and been destroyed. So too, Bhikkhus, for the noble disciple, a person accomplished in view, samadhi, who has reached the truth, saddhā, the suffering, dukkha, that has been destroyed and eliminated is no more, while that which remains is trifling. It does not amount to 100 part, 1,000 part, or 100 part, as there is a maximum of 7 or more lives. Of such great benefit in the realization of sattva dharma, the eternal law, of such great benefit it is to obtain dhammasaku, Dhamma-I. The bliss of worldly pleasures, the bliss of heaven equal not 1/16 of the bliss of cravings and of the extinction of tanha. Bhikkhus, suppose that a man should place 7 stones the size of a mung bean next to Mount Sinuru. What do you think? Which is more? The 7 stone the size of a mung beans placed by that man, or Mount Sinuru? Venerable sir, Mount Sinuru is more. So too, Bhikkhus, the extraordinary achievement of ascetics, Brahmins, wanderers, followers of the sects do not amount to 100 part, or 1,000 part, or 100,000 part of that achievement of a noble disciple. A person accomplished in samadhi, in view, so great in achievement in a person accomplished in view, so great in direct knowledge. Point D, attributes and conduct before attaining sotapanna, stream entry. Compare the qualities of faith, moral conduct, generosity, and wisdom with these same qualities described in earlier passages directly relating to sotapannas, stream enterers. One in whom the 4 factors of stream entries are completely, totally absent is an outsider. One who stands among the worldlings. This is a conversation with King Mahanama and Gautama Buddha. Venerable sir, in what way is one a lay follower? When one has gone for refuge in the Taratanatai, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, one is then a lay follower. In what way, venerable sir, is the lay follower accomplished in sīla, moral conduct? When a lay follower abstains from destruction of life, from taking what is not given, from sexual misconduct, from false speech, and from wines, liquor, and intoxicants that are basis for apamato, negligence, the lay follower is accomplished in sīla, moral conduct. In what way, venerable sir, is a lay follower accomplished in faith? Here, a lay follower is a person of faith. He has faith in the enlightenment of the Tathagata. The Blessed One is an Arihat, the Awakened One, the Blessed One. In that way, a lay follower is accomplished in faith. In what way, venerable sir, is the lay follower accomplished in generosity? Here, a lay follower dwells at home, devoid of the stains of stinginess, delighting in giving and sharing. In that way, a lay follower is accomplished in generosity. In what way, venerable sir, is a lay follower accomplished in wisdom? Here, a noble disciple a noble disciple is wise. He possesses wisdom that penetrates the truth, leading to the complete destruction of suffering, dukkha. In that way, a lay follower is accomplished in wisdom. Let us have another look at faith devotees, saddhā nusari, and truth devotees, dhamma nusari, who rank just below stream enterers. Bhikkhus, the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, the mind, the 6 objects and 6 kinds of consciousness, the 5 aggregates, the 5 skandhas, is anicca, impermanent, changing, become otherwise. One who trusts these teachings and is devoted to them thus is called a faith devotee. Of one whom these teachings are accepted after being investigated to a sufficient degree with wisdom is called a truth devotee. There is another group of 4 factors of stream entries, but here, rather than referring to the qualities of a stream enterer, they are the modes of spiritual practice that leads to stream entry. Gautama Buddha tells Sariputra, this is said, a factor for stream entry. What now is the factor for stream entry? Association with superior person, sapurisa samseva, is a factor for stream entry. Hearing the teaching of superior person, saddhamma savana, is the factor for stream entry. Proper reflection, yoniso manasikara, is a factor for stream entry. Comprehensive spiritual practice, dhamma nu dhamma pati pati, is a factor for stream entry. Bhikkhus, there are 4 factors for stream entries. Association with superior person, hearing the teaching of superior person, proper reflection and comprehensive spiritual practice. In Pali, sapurisa samseva, saddhamma savana, yoniso manasikara, dhammanu dhamma pati pati. Bhikkhus, there are 4 things, when developed and cultivated, lead to the realization of fruit of stream entry. What 4? Association with superior persons, hearing the teaching of superior persons, proper reflection and comprehension spiritual practice. These 4 qualities lead not only to stream entry, but to the level of wisdom, ending in the realization of arihatship. They may be referred to by many other names, but because Gautama Buddha emphasized them in this context, they are called the factors for stream entry.